I'd like to welcome you to this conversation we're going to have. I'm going to learn a little bit about D.E.T. I'm Ben Parsons, and I'll be your host for this little transaction today. Joining me, Gina Johnson.
Hi, Ben.
Sue Dorn.
Hello, Ben.
These are the resident, I will say experts, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm not. And it's probably a term you wouldn't either of you use for yourselves, but I don't think we're going to find anybody that can inform us any better on this process. And we'd really like to let you folks know a little bit more about it, maybe kind of how it originated a little bit, what it's used for. First off, maybe a little bit of you guys' background. Gina, why don't you start off and tell folks about the store a little bit? That might be their tie-in to how they got here.
Right. I started working with holistic therapies from a really young age. Reflexology, started learning about herbs in my probably mid-20s, and then started working with energetic modalities mid to late 90s. And then recently we started working with D.E.T. And D.E.T. is direct energy transference.
You just took away my next question. We don't get to use an acronym very long before I have to ask, what does that stand for?
What is it? And the nice thing about it is it really does explain what it is. With other modalities, the energy goes through the practitioner, then it goes to the client. So there's kind of a buffering down, a dilution that happens there. This is very direct, it's very pure, it's very raw, so it's a little bit more intense. It's stronger and it's faster. Why now is kind of a question that people keep asking, and I think it's because people don't have time to have dysfunction anymore. People don't have time to keep going back and keep going back. And people are spending a lot of money on trying to be well, and there had to be another way to do it.
Well, we're not a very patient animal by and large either.
No.
We want results. We want instant gratification, and sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, but I guess if there are ways that you can achieve your outcomes, maybe with fewer sessions, maybe just more effectively or more efficiently, why not?
Yeah, exactly. We expected it to be faster because it wasn't diluted. There was not that human contamination factor involved. And because the energy is clean and it's raw and it's pure, the body recognizes it as itself right away. So there's not that waiting to see, do I want to mess with this or not? There's this rapid absorption that happens within the body. So changes take place within seconds. So, yeah, instant gratification. Yeah, D.E.T. is all about instant. Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions about D.E.T. I know you recently had it done, and you had Stephanie as your facilitator, right?
Correct.
Okay. Why did you have D.E.T. done? What was going on?
Well, I broke my wrist and it was hurting, so I figured why not.
Okay, but you didn't have a normal break, did you? No. So, what happened before that cast got put on?
Well, I just let it go. I thought it was a sprain. They said it was a sprain, so I didn't worry about it. And then it ended up being a fracture. They put screws in there and everything.
So full surgery going on.
Surgery.
Okay. All right. So how long after you had surgery did you wait before you had D.E.T. done?
About 4 days.
About 4 days? Okay. What did you experience when you had D.E.T. done? Did it create any change for you?
Well, I couldn't move my fingers at first. Before I came in the first time, and I could move them after that. So.
Excellent. Excellent. Was there a concern about you having some nerve damage and stuff?
Well, they were completely numb at first, so
now
I could feel them. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And with what you do for a living, what you're going to school for, I can imagine that would be a problem.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you think? Is this something that you would recommend for other people to try?
Sure, why not? You never know unless you try it.
Excellent, excellent. So the results have been something that were beneficial for you?
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right.
When you work with the energies, typically you're working with 4 systems. It's the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, and the physical. And all of those primarily indicate that that would be the areas we would typically work within either one, two, or all of them. It just goes. It's just this very similar to what DET is, and like Gina said, DET is significantly different than those other modalities because we don't allow the energy to come in through us and through our hands. The energy we pull down and implement immediately. There's no middleman.
Okay. Now, can that, you said it kind of can dilute it. I suppose it can even, I don't want to use the word ricochet, but, when you're not going directly, I suppose it can, all kinds of crazy things can happen.
You bring up a really good point. When a practitioner, regardless of what the modality is, when they're working, keep in mind they're with this person for a half an hour, an hour and a half. I've had a session that lasts for 4 hours before. You're with that person that whole time, okay? You're utilizing whatever technique, Reiki, healing touch, whatever it is. During that time, your thoughts go all over the place. You can be thinking about an argument that you had. You could be wondering whether you dropped off your bills at the post office. There are all these different things. If you've ever tried to meditate for any great length of time, you realize how many places your head visits in just a minute. Well, every thought that you have is connected to an emotion. Those emotions have energy.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just want to ask you a couple questions about the experience that you had with DET.
Okay.
Can you tell me why you chose to try DET?
I had continual pain in my back by my left shoulder blade, and a friend recommended it.
Okay. How long had you had the pain? What was going on?
I'd had the pain for a long time. I'm a nurse's aide, so I just figured it was part of work.
Oh, wow. Okay, so a long time, like a couple of months, a year?
Years.
Years. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a long time to just put up with something.
Yeah.
Okay. So you decided to give DET a try.
Correct.
Can you share with us a little bit about your experience? Yeah. So, okay, when you had DET done,
Okay.
what was the first thing that you noticed during the transference?
I felt my hip shift.
And nobody pushed on you, pulled on you?
She didn't touch me a bit. It was just probably powerful and amazing.
Excellent. Very cool. Was there any pain involved in that?
No.
No? Okay, that's good. That's really good. Sometimes there is. That's why I asked. Anything else happen?
I got hot, I got shaky, I got dizzy, I got nauseated. Everything they warned me about.
And like, how fast did this happen? I mean, was it 15 minutes? Did it happen in like 2 minutes? How fast was it?
I don't know, 5 minutes into it or so, and then, it went away as fast as it came.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. And very common. Those things do. They happen. Not with everybody. Some people don't notice anything physical. So it really does depend on that person and what the body needs are. How did you feel afterwards?
I felt amazing, but I was very sleepy the rest of the day.
Okay. Well, your body went through a lot of changes, so that makes sense. I understand. And how are you doing now?
Better. Still, I don't think it's perfect. I think I'd like, probably another treatment.
Okay. Excellent. And I'm sure we can help you with that. So, with what you've experienced, and you've only had it done one time?
Right.
Okay. Only having one treatment, I don't know if it's even fair for me to ask you this. Is this something that you would recommend for others?
I already did.
You already
recommended
did?
it to my daughter and one other person that I work with.
Excellent. Very, very good. Is there anything else that you can think of that you'd like to share about your experience?
Just that when I got, the disease and Christy was amazing, and she talked me through everything before it happened and while it was happening, and very patient and understanding. Yeah, it was good.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
All right. why? What was going on with your body? Or was it an emotional thing? Why did you decide to try DET?
A couple of reasons. One is I have fibromyalgia.
How long have you had that?
About 7 years now.
Have you do medication for it? Did you try lots of different things?
The only medication they have for it I'm allergic to, so
Oh my gosh, not a lot of options.
no.
Okay, alrighty.
Painkillers, that kind of stuff, but
Which make it kind of hard to function, I'd imagine?
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Alright, so so fibromyalgia was the big reason why.
Mhm.
So you had a session done, and what was it like for you? What did you notice?
Fibro is painful, and the D.E.T took away the pain.
Amazing.
It just made me more relaxed, which helped me sleep.
Excellent.
Because with fibro, you don't really sleep very well.
There's not a lot of escape with it, is there?
Mhm.
So it begins to kind of dominate your life.
Yes.
So you actually got some relief.
Yeah.
I am very glad to hear that.
Plus, it makes you really tired too, which the D.E.T kind of woke me up a little bit.
There you go. Gave you a little bit of fuel.
Yep.
Very good. So you had, it sounds like a pretty positive experience. Was it mainly a physical thing for you? People talk about how it affects them mentally and emotionally, as well as physically. Some people say that they have more energy, that they feel more mentally alert. Some people say it helped them to release old emotions. Was yours more of a, oh, I got a yes on that. Okay, I was going to ask you if it was more physical, but you had some of those other things too?
Yeah, I mean, I come in for the physical, but it goes everywhere, and the emotional problems that I was having, it calmed those down.
Excellent. So you got a bonus there.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good. Is this something that you would recommend to other people that have had the same kind of issues you've had?
Definitely.
All right. Is this something you're going to continue for you?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much for all of your input today, Kim.
You're welcome.
Thank you.